We're going to talk about the difference between expensive and cheap stilettos.
These are examples of 1950s era Italian stilettos that are now highly desired by collectors because of the features that were incorporated back in the 50s when they were, for all practical purposes, handmade. They are highly desired by collectors, and so they've been copied. And now there are Chinese copies on the market which are much, much, much less expensive. For example, the value of these knives can be in the $400, $500, $600 range, whereas the value of the Chinese copies start at $20. So that's just an example of the variety there. And if you look at these knives, and it's crystal clear to you which ones are the expensive ones and which ones are the inexpensive ones, then you're a relatively experienced person. But if you don't know the difference and you can't see the difference, be very careful.
So for collectors, the desirable knives are mostly the 1950s?
Yeah, 1958 is when they passed the Federal Switchblade Act in the United States, and as a result of that, the American market dried up, and as a result of that, the Italians who are making these knives try to make them less and less and less expensive in an effort to try and continue to market them. But soon they were copied by the Chinese, and you end up with a really inexpensive knives. One more thing. The primary, you'll notice that the bolsters on these are all curved, and the bolsters on these three knives are straight. In order to close these knives, you have to pick a pin. You have to pick a pin off the locking tab, pick a locking tab off the pin, whereas these are bolster release knives. You swivel the bolster in order to close the knife, and that's another distinction. The earlier knives called pick locks, highly desirable. The later knives with what's called the bolster release are much less desirable.
What's the quality of those Japanese, the Chinese knives? And they just sort of a production knife?
Well, they're high. Yeah, they're production knives, and the quality is very bad, very poor. Fit and finish is no good. They're just the fit and finish is no good, but they're also very inexpensive, and so you can get an example that'll work for a little while for $20.
Okay. So, and I noticed, I think the knives on the right there are made out of have handles of horn, and
these are this might be a horn handle, and as a matter of fact, this is actually a brand new or a very modern Italian production knife. The value of this knife is roughly $20. This very modern Italian production knife, its value is maybe $50 or so, and this is a transitional piece. But comparing this knife, for example, to this knife, this is plastic, and these are what's called buffalo horn, really cow horn.
Are those all made in Mangiano?
These are all Maniago, Italy made.
Maniago, yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Terrific. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, good.